What's up, Bulls Nation, Bulls family? Y'all already know it's the Bully Sports Show. We back with another one. Y'all go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure y'all get in tune. Today, we are here to talk about the Chicago Bulls. Of course, Zach LaVine been listed as the first priority uh, coming up to this near trade deadline. So we want to touch on a few things, what LaVine market may look like, what that return could be. Also, can we not make a move? Can it be continuity 3 years in a row? And what that would look like and how would we feel as a fan base. But before we get into all of that, let me ask my boy, my co-host Q, how you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing well. The Bulls actually are 2 games away from 500. Remember the
Mm-hmm.
conversation? Remember we were talking about the conversation? I'm like, they can
Yeah.
still do it. They can still do it. So throughout all the crazy season, we only 2 games below 500. So I consider that trending upward. So it does make trade talks a little interesting now, as you said. Like, do we move on from Levine? Should we move? What should we move on for? Do we move on from DeRozan? You know, Artura's got about a month to make this decision.
Oh, not even February 8th or 9th. Yeah. So we a few weeks away. I think we landed on what, January 21st, maybe 3 weeks away. So he gonna have to make a decision and pick a direction.
So what? So what you think first, man?
So first, let's touch on the Levine topic. Right now it seems like they're prioritizing him being moved first. We already know we had the soft blanket request from Clutch to the front office expressing frustration through Levine's camp, saying that I think it both sides are open to make a move. Which at the beginning of the season something wasn't right, right? We was getting blown out left and right. We had
Players checked out.
yeah, we had the players meeting at the game one. Uh Clearly frustration from all players. Kobe White shooting terrible from three, Patrick Williams shooting terrible from three. Everybody started off the season pretty bad. So from that standpoint, it was a lot of frustration. And Levine, I don't know if he spoke too soon or whatever the case may be. That's not up to me. I don't know how accurate any of this stuff is. These are just rumors and speculation. So, the speculation was that he sent his agent to the front office and said, "Hey, you guys have been trying to trade me for like the last 2 years, been dangling my name out there. Maybe it's time to make that divorce happen." And now we in this situation, right, where beginning of the year, bottom barrel team. They was talking about us possibly obtaining a top three pick.
Yeah, yeah, it
Now,
was bad.
yeah, now we're ninth seed with a reach to the sixth seed, to top five, six seed, right? We
Yeah,
maybe
we within
five
four
games
games.
behind.
Yeah,
Yeah, 4 or 5 games behind. So not far at all. But at the same time, you had this soft blanket request. The front office been trying to move on from Zach LaVine. And it was a lot of question marks around him when he went out to the 17 game injury when he was gone. Can he come back and still make an impact on winning? And in the games he came back, they went 5-2. Probably damn near the first 4 or 5 games he came back was near triple doubles, right? Leading the team in rebounds, assists. The defensive activity was there. It seemed like he had a point to prove, right?
yeah. I think the biggest thing that a lot of people take note is Zach's team defense has been way better. He's actually helping the helper now,
Mhm.
and that's something he never really did in the first seasons before.
Yeah,
Bro has been a tremendous team helper now. So he looks like he's actually buying in on all phases on offense and defense.
yeah. I think for Levine's situation, um, it was some kind of lack of accountability there, right? Like when you the number one player and you getting paid to be the franchise tag, the franchise guy, everything starts and ends with you, right? I love what Charles Barkley said. I hate to pay a player 40 to 50 million for me to be a bottom barrel team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Typically when you want to pay somebody that amount of money, it should come with guaranteed wins. Like we shouldn't be a play-in team. We shouldn't be a bottom of a barrel team. And if we is in a play-in, right, we should be how we're looking right now, right, where we see um possibly not just trees but a forest, right? We can see Kobe White growth. We can see the growth in Patrick Williams. We can see DeMar taking a step back, being more of a facilitator. We can see even though Vooch is not knocking down the three, he's been impactful in other ways. Um, that's what you want to see, right? And then I think if you're being paid 40 million and you can do it within a team construct and y'all winning, it won't be a problem. But when you being paid 40 million and a team is not succeeding, again, everything starts and it ends with you. So you have to assume if I'm a front office, I would be doing the same thing. Hey, I paid the guy 40 million. Clearly, he's not the number one option who's going to carry me to a playoff. He's not going to carry me to a playoff win. I have to test the value, right? That's just being, at the end of the day, it's business. So that's being a good businessman, doing good business practice. You can't take that personal. All you have to do is look in the mirror and say, hey, what can I do to ensure that, hey, I'm grateful for this contract, but at the same time, it comes with a certain expectation that I need to uphold and obtain, every single day. Right. And I think he's starting to get that, coming back. I think the career low in shot attempts per game was, or shot attempts in a game for Zach LaVine was 8. He did that twice within the 7 games he was back. But now with the 8 shot attempts, it's not 3 rebounds and 4 assists. You had, I think, one game where it was like 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Another game, it was like 8 rebounds, 9 assists. Like,
Still getting to the
it's
free throw line as well.
yeah, and it's you not being a shot chucker, you playing within the offense and within the flow of the team, right? And that's producing wins. And I think that's all that is being asked of him, right? But I don't know if the communication or the direction for him being a franchise player, if that's being translated to him. Again, we got a new front office. Both of these guys are new in their roles, right? So again, everybody has to hold some form of accountability here. So that's all I pretty much
I,
got with that.
I'll say, like for me, other players have talked about this. They was like, you don't want to see your team do bad, but seeing your team do better when you're not there does hurt. And I think that is a humbling. I think that was a humbling experience. Maybe I think he probably looked at the guys in front of him like, maybe you're not as bad as I thought. Maybe the system's not as bad as I thought. Like I think at one moment, bro, probably I think that was his look in the mirror moment because the team went on a 6, 7 game win streak when he was
He
out.
went out, yeah, and we
Yeah, and
beat some of the top teams, right?
yeah, and fully
Sixers,
healthy. They were fully
Bucks,
healthy.
Lakers,
Um
Heat, yeah.
so for that, I do think that's humbling. I do think that makes you kind of want to go out there because now you got to prove like this is still your team a little bit, but you can't
Mm-hmm.
just go out there and ruin it. So it's nice to see him kind of coming out there, being more passive, not trying to mess up the flow of the offense, like you said, not being a shot chucker. Um, because I don't know what jump started this team with the injury. Maybe people had felt they had something to prove. Maybe they all rallied behind their guy. You never really know what's going on in the locker room, but I do think that shot in the arm have us looking at this Bulls team a little different now. Now we still see the weaknesses as you see when we play Cleveland, Toronto. We still have major weaknesses, but now when me and you watch a game, we can like you said, when it was 5-14, we were saying it was bad. Like we don't even know if we can expect wins out of this team. Now we expect wins. Like, it wouldn't be a surprise if we finish seventh seed now.
Right, right. No, you're 100% correct on that one. I think uh um the biggest issue at the beginning of the season was yeah, we can go to Artur's favorite word, continuity, right? You brought in Javon Carter, Torrey Craig, different players to this rotation who have been part of winning organizations and winning environments. And then you come in, and to me, everybody, not only Zach LaVine, it was just complete albatross, right? Like it was lackluster play from multiple standpoints, multiple players. Kobe White, yeah, he's been on fire lately. He started the beginning of the season terrible. Patrick Williams terrible. Torrey Craig was good, like one every 5 games. Um, Javon Carter started off strong, but he seems like he got that Kobe White touch uh, of last year, where he can go on a heat streak for 4 games, and then the next 4 or 5 games he is take this dude out the lineup, right? Um, I think just them finding a footing, they didn't have that in the beginning of the year. New offense, new scheme, new everything. And player percentages was just down across the board. So again, I think everybody has some level of accountability. The big thing, like you said, for Zach was to see them actually go on a winning streak once I'm out and I'm paid. I'm the highest paid player in this locker room, and y'all doing this without me, right? So
Yeah, Bulls haven't been on a 7 game streak since Lonzo.
exactly, exactly. So it's a wake up call, but at the same time, let's not miss the forest for the trees. We did the same thing with Nikola Mirotic, right? Back in November.
Yeah, yeah.
My guy went on the Heat Street.
They said he ruined our lottery pick because of that.
Yeah, we could have had Luka or Trey Young, right? And
He ruined our lottery pick for that.
smoked us. I do think this team is better. We do have more established veterans. I'm not saying this the same exact team, but at the same time, we do have to look at the ease of schedule. We got the easiest remaining schedule since like the first month. After we have the toughest schedule starting out, and now we have the easiest schedule. So it's a lot of things that come into play and come into factor when we talk about these things. Um, my biggest question is, what is the direction of this team, right? With trade deadline approaching, everything that we just discussed, what is the direction? Are we headed towards a rebuild? Do you move on from DeMar? If there's no market for LaVine, do maybe change the direction? How about we see what's going on with Caruso? Because right now, as this team established, like I said, I think we can reach, you know, the ceiling is 6 seed, 5th seed, right? The floor is gonna be 9th, 10th seed where we are, right? So right now we're reaching the floor, but is that good enough um for not only now but as well as the future when you got questions you need to answer, right? So Caruso value is probably gonna be at his peak this year. Next year he's expiring. DeMar's already expiring, right? So he's not like you're not even really hearing him in any rumors or anything like that. Guy is 34 years old, does impact winning tremendously, and is a good locker room presence. But are you willing to max this guy out? Right? Vooch shooting
Mm-mm.
20% from three. Um, what direction do they go, Q? Like, where do you go if you
Um,
and Mark Eversley in Arturas Karnisova's position
I
right
don't see, like we talked about off screen, we don't really know what people are receiving in these trade packages and what's going to be acceptable. You know, I
I
think
mean,
for the
Alex got some value.
yeah, we
I'm
know
pretty sure
Alex got some
Alex.
value. If you tag Alex with any name, it'll make the trade work. Alex and DeMar, Alex and Zach, it'll make the trade work.
Yeah.
But I do understand why they don't want to get rid of Alex Caruso, just for a culture presence, so they can try to. So I do kind of understand it, but I am with you. Like I'm pretty sure after next season, Alex Caruso might sign somewhere else. You
Yeah.
know, I can't imagine him staying after everything that just happened. Um, I would think that they will move on from DeMar this season, but I don't know what you would get in return. And even still, like you said, he impacts money. So I know they want to resign him, but we also know the combination with him and Zach isn't the best.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a weird situation, bro. I personally would trade DeMar and see what we can get, and then see how far we can get with the roster we have, considering we're kind of stuck with LaVine. Because, like as you talked about, you don't want to salary dump a $50 million player.
Right.
You will hate to do that. So I think you should trade DeMar, and see how far you can get with this team, and see how much Zach LaVine can impact one. I feel like that's just kind of the no choice route we have to go. This the 1 year we have a draft pick and we didn't tank. Not no shame in that. So we gotta definitely hit on the draft this year. And I think we just gotta move forward from that point on. Like we can't just look back. You might just gotta move on from Caruso because I think that would just have to be it. And you might understand the one thing that would be a little bit of a situation is depending on what we get back. We still got Torrey Craig injured, we still got Alonzo injured. So I know big picture they looking at both of them actually coming back next year. They said Lonzo is actually starting to practice or he's
Pain
starting to do
free.
warm ups. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's actually trending towards coming back next year. So that's actually exciting to see. Um, but I still think we should move on from DeMar and just see what the best we can do.
Yeah, like you said, I think they're in a conundrum. You really, to me, I think the clear cut choice, and to me, the most obvious thing for them, in the eyes of real basketball um savants or people who really, understand the game of basketball from an asset management standpoint, I think it's time to blow the roster up. Get rid of all your veterans. You have promise in Kobe. You starting to see it more in Patrick Williams. Yeah, you're gonna suck for a couple of years or whatever the case may be. I don't think they're nearly strong enough to impact winning in a way to keep us afloat. But at least you can try to now go out there and actually find your franchise cornerstone. I think until that is answered, you're going to continue to have this back and forth on what direction to go, because right now we don't have a cornerstone. We have not had a cornerstone, right? We tried to peg Zach LaVine as the cornerstone, which he has the talent to be a number two or number three, but he's still not a cornerstone type player. DeMar DeRozan, damn sure ain't your cornerstone at 34, right? And we all know Vooch. We're not even gonna touch on Vooch. They all serviceable players. They all impact winning. Um, and they all good veterans, right? But at the same time, I think you have to go find your guy. If you don't have your guy, I won't mind kind of how like the Toronto Raptors are doing when you do a soft rebuild, because again, I do not trust this front office drafting. None of
Yeah.
their draft picks have hit yet. We have yet to see Julian Phillips. I don't want to count the young rook out too early. Patrick Williams, we get excited when he scores 15 points. That is not carrying us to victories. Kobe White is again good, but
I don't think we're gonna celebrate that if DeMar is acting like that.
yeah,
I think we only celebrate that because
yeah.
they
And at that, and Kobe White is not y'all draft pick. That was
yeah.
drafted by the old regime, right? So I think when you look at who we have running this organization at the moment, I don't know if you could trust in their
Real
capacity to make a
quickly,
solid draft pick. So
real quickly, how you feel about Dalen Terry's growth?
Dalen Terry, the thing is, Dalen Terry has a ton of potential. 6'7", um, springy, long type of guard. I think for me, his ceiling is like a Kelly Oubre. Like I think he can be in that type of mode of player. If he can get better offensively. He needs to take that leap offensively, right? And we have not seen that defensively. I like everything that he does. He's active. He'll pick up full court. He'll pick up 1 through 4. He's switchable. I like that aspect of it, but at the same time, he's still a project, right?
Yeah,
It's like
he don't
you're,
even have a rely. I don't know what like he's isn't like at least Io got a good to the it's good to get into the cup, good finishing. I
yeah.
don't even think that Dalen don't even got
Jalen don't
that.
have it. Yeah, he don't. His to me, he's like a connector piece. He's somebody who is not going to have one solid skill set, right? He's gonna be like a Swiss Army knife type player, where it's like, okay, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not great at nothing though, kind of like Kelly Oubre, right? Um, I just don't want him to get into that chucker mode that Kelly Oubre in. Again, if he can learn how to play within the style of an offense, take the right shots, knowing what's presented to him, how to capitalize on those opportunities, when to attack the closeout. If he can knock down the open three, like some of his threes look good, like the sidestep three last night looked good,
Mm-hmm.
but when he wide open and he set, he airball. So it's just like
Yeah.
it's the project piece behind it, and I think again that's why this front office won't rebuild because clearly they don't know how to draft and they don't know how to develop talent. So to me, that's like holding up everything. It's just what is this front office going to decide to do? What direction are they going to go in? Are we going to try to develop talent? The thing is, if they do that, I think they could put their jobs on the line. If we continue to be bad, or do you take the continuity route where you already have talent on this roster and you just let it play out and you hope players develop? And to me, I hate to be in the hope stage. If we take from the old regime, Garpax, I always tell you, hope and luck is not a strategy. And right now, we're hoping for everything. We hoping Patrick Williams do this. We hope Kobe can be this elite level point guard. We're hoping for all of this stuff, and it's like no direction. So to me, for them just to pick a direction, I would love to see that. I would hate to go past this deadline and not make any moves. I think that would be worst case scenario. Best case scenario is you move off a couple pieces and you kind of hit a soft reset, but you invest more from that 22 to 25-year-old range and, kind of give you some time where they're established. They may not be superstars or all-stars yet, but hey, we got a path going forward and we can, kind of use these pieces maybe to bring in our guy. But until we got a guy, I think we directionless. So I don't got anything else to say on that.
Living life on the run from myself and where I'm from. Wish I could take a